Welcome to Bosnia, a very underrated European country, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly why you need to be going to Bosnia either for a day trip or a holiday. So we went for a day trip, and in this video we are going to show you all the information we got from the tourist guide, the food we ate, and what the place was actually like. We really enjoyed this tour and would highly recommend you to book it as well. At the end of the video I am going to give you details for a 10% discount code that you can use to book this tour on Get Your Guide. So do watch out for that, and I'll put the link in the description. Very first thing we did is actually get picked up from our hotel, which was very convenient, so we didn't have to actually go somewhere. They came to us and picked us up. This is a guided tour, so you are going to hear lots of stuff from our guides throughout this video, which will hopefully be helpful.
Also, you can see from here the part of the town called Lapat, where we have many beaches. And then also there is the area Gruž that you can see from here as well. There is the international port of Dubrovnik. There is also the old port in the old town, but this one here is the new international port. And here in front of us you can see this bridge that we will cross in a few minutes. Now you can see how before this bridge, before it was built, we had to pass through all of these small villages that you can see on your right side. So it would take us some 15 minutes longer. So now thanks to this bridge it's much easier to exit Dubrovnik. And sometimes this bridge can be closed for a couple of days. The deer, because deers used to inhabit these islands in large numbers during the ancient times. Although there are no any proofs or evidences that the deers actually lived here, the name of the islands remained as Alafiti. So today this is a small archipelago consisting of 13 islands, but only 3 main of them are inhabited at the moment. They're called Šipan, Lopud and Koločep, and they can all be visited from the port of Dubrovnik. Slano, situated some half an hour away from Dubrovnik. So today in Slano officially, and all of this area was part of it. So in Slano there is almost all of these borders that we have between Croatia and other countries, they are mostly all historical borders that date back from Middle Ages. So that border
So there you heard from our guide who was with us during the whole day. We had 2 different guides, and you will hear from them throughout this video, which will hopefully be helpful.
If you take a look to your left side, you can see these things floating on the sea. It's because local people from this area they are farming oysters. So they put nets into the sea, and after that they just pick up the oysters. So you can see maybe even from here you can see the small boats. So they are picking it up later on, and this area here it's called Bay of Stone, and it's well known because of the oysters. Also you can see from here the city walls. You will see it maybe better in a few moments. On your left side as well, the city walls that goes around that small hill, they are called city walls of stone, and they are the second largest city walls in the world, right after the Great Walls of China. And originally they were over 7 kilometers or 4.6 miles long, and they were built to protect the salt pan on that town of stone, because during the Middle Ages 1 kilo of salt had the same value as 1 kilo of gold. That is the reason why they decided to build the walls. They were built for 200 years, from 14th to 16th century. So they were built to protect the salt pan from Venetian attacks, because stone was also part of that independent state.
So there you heard a little bit of information about Dubrovnik. That's the reason why this is because we actually got our day trip from Dubrovnik. So it's a day trip Dubrovnik to Bosnia. So if you are in Dubrovnik or also around in Montenegro, then you can do this trip as well.
That they will take cash only. And now you can see now here in front of us has 4,000 of inhabitants. Bosnian coast
our first stop on the day trip was this coastal town called Name. It's actually the only coastal town in Bosnia, and this was also a tea and coffee break, so you are able to get off and get something to eat.
In the central and in the northern part, it's called Bosnia. So the country has two historical and geographical regions. So Bosnia is that region that got a name because of the Illyrian word. Illyrians were the first known inhabitants of this country, and on their language the word Bosnia meant running water. So this country is very rich when it comes to the water. They have a lot of springs for Eastern Orthodox Christians, Serbians, and around 15% are Roman Catholics, Croatians. So they have three ethnic groups here in the country. Also, there are three official languages here. The official languages are Croatian, Serbian, and Bosnian. But the thing is that all of these three languages are very, very similar, almost the same. So we can all perfectly understand each other. We can communicate without any problem, and we have some differences. The grammar is a little bit different. Some words are different, but otherwise we can communicate without any problems. The biggest difference that you will see today between Croatia and Bosnia is when it comes to the alphabet, because here in Bosnia, in many places, you will see that they use two types of alphabet. So you will see things written on a Latin alphabet and then on Cyrillic as well. And in Croatia, we use Latin only. So here they use Cyrillic because Serbian language can be written on Latin and on Cyrillic as well. So they have two types of alphabet because Serbian is one of the three official languages in the country. So you will see Cyrillic alphabet in some places, but not a lot, because this part that we are visiting today is the part where majority is Croatian and also Bosniaks. Cyrillic alphabet can be seen more in the other parts of the country where Serbians are the majority, because Croatian and Bosnian languages we use Latin only. Then also Bosnia-Herzegovina is the only country that has three presidents. So in this country, each ethnic group chose one president who will represent them for the next 4 years, and they rotate each 8 months. So for example, if now a president is one, let's say Croatian, he will rule the country for the next few months, 8 months. After that, he will be switched by one Serbian, Bosniak, and so on. That's how things work here in the country. And today many local people also here from Bosnia-Herzegovina, if you ask them, many of them, they don't know who is the president at the moment, because it changes all the time. Now you can see that this road that we are taking is quite new and modern. This is the road that was built and opened last year on June, less than a year ago, to connect now the coastal town with the rest of the country. There was an old narrow road here, and then you could use this road. You could travel, but only by car, because the road was very narrow. So now they connected now with Mostar and with the other parts of the country, so it's much easier, because before mostly to arrive to Neum, mostly local people from other parts of Bosnia, they would pass through Croatia and they had to cross the borders. So now it's much easier, and also for us. Slavic people, when they arrived here during the centuries, they accepted Christianity as their religion, and they baptized mostly on 8th and 9th century. Then from 9th until 15th century, this country was ruled by many different rulers. They had some Oriental influence today in Bosnia, because almost everything was built during the Middle Ages. of Oriental influence in the architecture, and also you will see many mosques, and you will notice how most of the mosques were built on 16th century, because that's the century when a large number of people converted to Islam. Then after that, on the 19th century, this country was ruled by Austro-Hungarians. They stayed here for 100 years, and also at the same time they ruled Croatia as well. So from 19th century, just by the church you will see the mosque, because this town is very ethnically diverse. So half of the population are Croatians, another half are Bosnians, and unfortunately that is also the reason why the town was hugely damaged in the war. So you will still see some buildings that are not completely rebuilt. You will see some bullet holes in some places. So now we'll pass by the center of this town, and you will see much better as we pass by the old town of Vidoški, so one of the best fortified places in the whole country.
Our second stop was in Mostar, and here we were also provided with another guide, and he was absolutely amazing, as well, as you will see in a bit. And yes, this is where we spent a lot of time.
How the Bosnia and Herzegovina get together? Because that same name, Herzegovina, he got a daughter named Catherine, and she got married to the Bosnian king, Stjepan Tomaš. And that was their marriage between the Bosnia and Herzegovina. So since the 15th century, Bosnia and Herzegovina is one country. We are now in the city of Mostar, city with 106,000 inhabitants, and it is the biggest city in the region of Herzegovina, but sixth biggest in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Capital and the biggest is the Sarajevo. Sarajevo is 120 kilometers north from here.
So he's absolutely amazing, as you can see, and he gave us lots of tips as well. Now, thinking about the crime rate and also things to be careful in Bosnia, the only thing we were told is sometimes pickpocketing can take place, but other than that, it's actually pretty safe. So if anybody's worried, then just thought I would let you know about that. So Mostar is actually very, very pretty, and there's so much to do here, and we got given about 2 hours to spend here on our own, as well as having the guided tour, where our tour guide actually gave us a lot of information, especially around the history, things to do here, best place to eat, and you will see that in a little bit as well, and also made lots of funny jokes, which was great for the group. So that's why we would really recommend a guided tour if you are going to visit Bosnia.
As you cannot see, there are no windows on the walls. Because it'd be very inappropriate for someone who's bathing inside that someone watching through the window. That's why there are no windows. That's why on the domes you can find the skylights and receive heat and the sunlight through the roof. So at that time used to be two types of hammam. First type is that they reserved the hammam. They were separated rooms from men and women. That means that men and women, they could come in the same time, but they goes in the separated rooms. Second type is there are no separated rooms, but men and women comes in a different time. Monday comes in, Tuesday comes in, Wednesday comes in, like that to the end of the week. At that time there were Muslims. You know that Muslims pray 5 times a day. You know that already. Before each prayer, they need to clean water for certain parts of their body. It is not a ritual washing. The only purpose of washing is the cleanness of the body. Same thing like to wash your hands before the meal, after the toilet, and so on. Do you? Okay, let's go back in that time. Everywhere. But in their time, on one part of the floor used to be a glass. So the people, when they were praying, they could see that water running underneath their feet, which was not related to the mosque or to the religion, just looks nice. Yes, for those who eat meat, this is the best place for you.
So if you're looking to try some Bosnian cuisine, then this is probably the best place for you. It's also been rated as one of the best on TripAdvisor. So just a little tip for food over here.
Mission, but he got the best ice cream in the city. Google it.
6.
just type in the coldest river in the world and wait for the results. It's officially the coldest river in the world, 7 degrees C. Temperature of the river over here in the middle of the summer, it's not 7. And there are two reasons for that. First reason is that this is the last third of the river before it goes into Adriatic Sea. Second reason is this is one of the hottest cities in Europe. So temperature of the river under the bridge in the middle of the summer is around 12 degrees C. Still cold and still huge difference between air and water temperature. That's why those divers get time before they jump. Question for all of you, and who gets this right, you won the prize. You ready? What's the prize? Oh my God. I'm expecting that question from some lady. So, okay, you should know the answer because I already mentioned like 3 times so far. Question is, this bridge was first time built when? Which year? Wow. Nice. I'm amazed. You're tourists and you're actually listening. 1566, congratulations, you won the prize. I'm very glad that you won the prize because prize is jumping off the bridge. Can you do it after the walking tour, before the lunch, on empty stomach? It's much better. Take a photo of him. So when we first time built this bridge, 1566, we put here this entrance of the bridge, and on the exit, we put armed soldiers, guardians, protectors of the bridge. So they were protecting the bridge, and it's not like to walk across. In that time, he needed to pay in gold or in silver coins. Those are mostly traders that walk with their horses, caravan goods, across the bridge toward to Vienna. On our language, bridge is called most. Old bridge, stari most. Keepers of the bridge were called Mostari. That's how we got the name of the city Mostar, by the keepers of this bridge. When you first time built this.
So in Mostar there are lots of street vendors. As you can see, we are actually walking through a market in this clip itself. Everywhere has lots of different things. There's jewelry, there's clothes, there's lots of different things that you can buy here. I would remember that one thing I actually will say is that try to negotiate the prices because it is quite pricey over here, and I would just be careful of that.
How many materials used? How many men are killed or injured during the building of the bridge? And he had built the architect's miracle. Even today, one arch, stone bridge, an arch with these proportions. Pay attention now. No steel inside, no concrete inside. Is considered by the architect's miracle. Can you imagine someone does that almost 500 years ago?
So after that talk, we were given 2 hours, as I said before, to go on our own way and explore Mostar. So what we decided to do is we decided to spend majority of the time at this Pasha Mosque, which is a historical mosque in Mostar, and not only a mosque, but it has a beautiful garden, and it also has an amazing viewpoint from the top, which I will show you in a little bit, as well as a fountain. So this place is quite nice if you're looking for a place which is quieter but equally nice views, just a bit more to yourself. So we were looking for a place like this, especially to fly the drone. So if that's something that you would like to do, then this might be worth it. Now you do have to pay extra for this. I believe it was about €9, but that was for the terrace, the mosque and the gardens. But there are different offers. So for example, if you don't want to use the terrace, then you can save a bit of money and only pay for the gardens. But the mosque itself is absolutely beautiful. So you can go in and have a look around. You can have a read at some of the history. The views from this mosque again do not disappoint, and as I said before, you can actually go to the top, and there is a balcony. There's a little balcony which gives you a view of the bottom floor, but then you can go right to the top and you get this view. And it's an absolutely breathtaking view. Not many people are up there, and you've got a panoramic view of Mostar. So not just the bridge, but you've also got the view of this beautiful location. You can see the river, the mountains, and it's all just very, very beautiful. So this is a tip for a place for views, and we highly recommend you to go and visit this place if you can, and especially if you're looking for a place for yourself. As you can see, the bridge is always very, very busy, and from the bridge you don't get the view of the bridge, so this place would be great if you're looking for a place to get some nice pictures, videos, or just a view of the bridge itself, the historical bridge, and also boats going past. And this is the way down, so it's a very small place, but a great views. Now for food, we went to the place that was recommended by our tour guide earlier, so we had to try it, especially if it's been voted as #1 on TripAdvisor, and we went for a platter, a sharing platter, which was enough for both of us. We were actually going to order 2, great we didn't, but it was very, very yummy and we really recommend it. And for ice cream, again, we went with what our tour guide suggested, and it did not disappoint. The ice cream was very nice and we really enjoyed it, especially as it was a hot day. Now moving on, after our 2 hours in Mostart, we then got back into our car with the rest of the group, and we made our way to the next destination, which is actually the Kravik waterfalls, which is probably one of the main reasons why you might want to book this tour, is the waterfalls itself. Unfortunately, it started to rain very heavily and there was lightning and thunder, but we still made it to the waterfalls, and here you can see the absolute beautiful Kravik waterfalls. We wish we could spend more time here. We did actually get given about an hour or just over an hour, but because of the rain and the thunder and lightning, we weren't able to use the entire time. So if you're visiting, then do make sure to ask for more time at the waterfalls or spend more time there. Again, there are actually a restaurant, there's a cafe, there's also a train that takes you down to the waterfall, but because of the rain and because of the weather, it was not operating. And that was really all we did in Bosnia. It was a great trip, especially for a day trip. We did get a lot done, so that's why we would really recommend this. So that's all for this video. We hope you enjoyed watching it, and do let us know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Do remember to like and subscribe to our channel, and do use a link in our description which you can use to download the Get Your Guide app using our special link and also our 10% discount code. See you in the next video.